During Todd Chrisley's first post-prison press conference, he shared that he and his family were done with Nashville, Tennessee. Although it would always be home, it was time for a big change. So, where are Todd and Julie Chrisley headed next? Keep reading for more details. It has been a rough ride for Todd and Julie Chrisley. They amassed an incredible amount of fame through their reality series, Chrisley Knows Best. Along with their children and Todd's mother, Nanny Faye, fans flocked to the show and their never-ending antics. Unfortunately, legal troubles started to plague the couple, and they were soon convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. This led them to each receive lengthy sentences in separate states, keeping them apart from their kids and each other. After nearly 2.5 years, they were pardoned by President Donald Trump and released within a day. Shortly after, Todd appeared at a press conference with his daughter, Savannah Chrisley. There, he shared this insight regarding the next move. The Chrisleys relocated to Nashville from Georgia nearly a decade ago, and that was where Savannah raised her 2 younger siblings while her parents were away. Now they have settled on a new location, and it still has Southern charm. Todd and Julie Chrisley are headed to Charleston, South Carolina, and they have big plans for their new home. The duo is hopeful that they can purchase a mansion, which they will turn into a hotel. Of course, their presence will still remain in the public eye. The family has a new reality series coming up this year, which began filming while Todd and Julie were still away. It was to show how the kids and Nanny Faye were handling life on their own. Yet the moment the couple was pardoned, cameras promptly went back up to capture every moment. While Todd and Julie Chrisley were behind bars, Savannah Chrisley moved into their Nashville home. She spent her time raising her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe, while working and fighting. However, when Todd returned to the mansion, he was judging and criticizing every aspect. Things did not look right to him, but his daughter had to remind him that she was taking care of her brother and sister. At the same time, she was speaking and traveling to fight on their behalf and for prison reform. Therefore, maintaining the perfect yard was not her priority. As for who will join Todd and Julie in Charleston, it is yet to be determined. Are you excited about this move? And would you stay at Todd and Julie Chrisley's hotel? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. In the ever-unfolding saga of American reality television royalty, few families have experienced the whirlwind of highs and lows quite like Todd and Julie Chrisley. The couple, once synonymous with Southern charm, luxury, and primetime antics on Chrisley Knows Best, is once again the subject of attention, this time for turning a new leaf in a wholly different place. Following a turbulent chapter marred by legal troubles and incarceration, whispers of a major relocation are surfacing, marking a bold and symbolic transition for the Chrisley clan. With roots long planted in Georgia and Tennessee, the couple is said to be setting their sights on an entirely new state, a fresh backdrop for a potential reinvention of both life and legacy. From Southern splendor to federal sentences, Todd and Julie's public persona was built on wit, discipline, and a glamorous yet relatable family dynamic. The Chrisley image was carefully cultivated over the years, showing a family often navigating life's absurdities with humor and candor. But behind the velvet curtains of reality TV, trouble was brewing. Financial investigations, followed by high-profile trials and convictions for tax evasion and bank fraud, led to the couple's imprisonment in 2023. The reality star image began to fray. Though their time apart due to incarceration painted a stark contrast to their previously tight-knit image, it also gave way to speculation. What would life look like post-sentencing? Where would they go once they were free? And most importantly, what would they do to reclaim or redefine their identities? The answer appears to be emerging, subtly but unmistakably. A different state. A quieter, possibly more humble environment. A deliberate step back from the spectacle. And perhaps, most poignantly, a reinvention in progress. The symbolism of starting over relocating is rarely just about a change in zip code. For the Chrisleys, it is almost certainly more about symbolism than geography. The move away from the South, where Todd's sharp tongue and Julie's steady grace had built their empire, is a signal. It's a break from their past narrative, a conscious pivot away from where their fame blossomed and where their public downfall took root. Though the specific destination remains under wraps, sources suggest they're opting for a quieter state,
in media,
something less connected to the roots of their controversy and more conducive to healing. Whether it's the rustic tranquility of Colorado, the open skies of Montana, or the reserved charm of the Midwest, the message remains the same. This is about starting over. A new environment allows the couple a chance to escape the constant gaze of Southern society circles and their own familial history. It offers space for reinvention, introspection, and perhaps even anonymity, rare commodities in their line of fame. Rebuilding relationships and relevance. While the Chrisleys have always maintained a front of unity, their legal battles undoubtedly tested the resilience of both their family and their brand. A relocation hints at more than just personal healing. It's a stage for professional and emotional reinvention. Out of the ashes of scandal often comes a rebranding opportunity, especially in the world of reality television. Though their show was canceled in the wake of the trial, the Chrisleys' name hasn't vanished from pop culture. In fact, interest in their fate has only increased. Viewers and former fans alike are watching closely to see what moves Todd and Julie make next, whether it's a return to TV, a pivot to motivational work, or even authoring books about their journey. Relocating to a new state could enable a softer narrative to emerge, one of resilience, redemption, and potentially relevance reimagined. It may also signal a desire to reconnect with family members who distanced themselves during the scandal, or to build new, private lives away from the pressures of notoriety. Different pace, a different purpose for a couple once immersed in designer labels and social status. The allure of a simpler life might have seemed foreign years ago. Yet, adversity often changes priorities. After time spent separated behind prison walls, there's a clear shift toward the essential: health, peace, family, and reflection. Moving to a slower-paced state is in keeping with this philosophy. Far from the luxury properties they once flaunted, their new home is rumored to be modest, surrounded by nature rather than paparazzi. It's a choice that suggests an appreciation for quietude, for the ability to live without scrutiny, and for the possibility of reinvention without the constraints of their past image. And perhaps it's not just about downsizing but realigning, living in a place where names don't echo scandal, where they're not constantly recognized, where the chapters ahead can be written on a clean slate. An opportunity for redemption in the world of celebrity. Redemption arcs are a cultural mainstay. America, after all, has a long tradition of rooting for comebacks. From Martha Stewart to Robert Downey Jr., the public often affords second chances, especially to those who show genuine remorse and growth. The Chrisleys' move may be the beginning of such an arc. There's potential here not just for reinvention, but redemption. Todd, with this penchant for bold opinions and theatrical flair, could pivot to motivational speaking or public accountability campaigns. Julie, with her steadier demeanor, may focus on community building, perhaps working with organizations that help families through legal or financial hardships. The move is not merely geographical, it's thematic. It's the Chrisleys saying, without words, that the next version of themselves will be different. Maybe more grounded, maybe less showy, certainly less public for now. New legacy in the making. Every relocation is a trade-off. In leaving their southern kingdom behind, the Chrisleys are abandoning more than a landscape. They're letting go of a brand, a home base, and a legacy tied to a specific identity. But what they gain is potentially more powerful: the freedom to choose what their next chapter looks like without the weight of expectation. Their children, too, will be watching. Some might follow them into this new life, while others may choose their own paths. Either way, the move sets a tone, a signal to their family and followers alike that mistakes, no matter how grave, do not preclude transformation. And while the headlines may never fully forget their past, perhaps the people around them, the neighbors, the baristas, the local store owners in their new town, won't recognize them at all. Maybe they'll just be Todd and Julie, a middle-aged couple looking to heal. No fame, no fortune. Just a quiet place to begin again. Closing thought: in the end, the Chrisleys' move to a whole new state isn't just a real estate decision. It's a spiritual and emotional reset. It's a deeply personal statement about who they want to be moving forward. After a life lived in the spotlight, a very public fall, and time spent in isolation, they are choosing a different kind of stage, one of humility, healing, and, perhaps for the first time, true privacy.